The Woman with No Past, based on a real unsolved murder case. In November of 1970, a father and his 2 young daughters were hiking in a remote valley near the city of Bergen, Norway. The area was called Isdalen, which locals referred to as Death Valley. The name wasn't dramatic. People really did die there. The terrain was steep, the weather changed quickly, and hikers often underestimated how dangerous it could be. Even experienced locals treated it cautiously. That afternoon, as the family walked along the rocky path, one of the girls noticed something strange ahead. A shape. At first, it looked like a pile of trash. Then they smelled something burned. When they got closer, they realized it was a body. The woman lay face up among the rocks. Her arms were positioned unnaturally. Her clothes were partially burned, and around her were scattered personal items, a purse, a passport holder, jewelry. But something was immediately wrong. Every label had been cut out of her clothing, every identifying mark had been removed. The police were called, and within hours the area was sealed off. Investigators determined the woman had died only a few days earlier. The cause of death appeared to be a combination of carbon monoxide poisoning and sleeping pills. At first it looked like a suicide, but then they looked closer. The woman's fingerprints had been deliberately wiped from many of her belongings. Her shoes were clean, too clean for the terrain. And in her stomach, investigators found large quantities of pills, far more than she could have taken voluntarily without losing consciousness first. The case took a darker turn when police searched the nearby train station lockers. Inside one locker, they found suitcases belonging to the woman. Inside the suitcases, a wig, sunglasses, multiple currencies, notebooks filled with coded writing, and again, every label removed. Even more disturbing, the notebooks detailed travel logs across Europe, but the names she used changed constantly. She checked into hotels under at least 8 different identities. She paid in cash. She avoided speaking to staff. Hotel employees later recalled her as polite, but distant. Some remembered her asking specifically for rooms with balconies. Others remembered her moving rooms unexpectedly, almost as if she was being watched, or watching someone else. An autopsy revealed something chilling. The woman had suffered blunt force trauma before her death. Not enough to kill her, enough to incapacitate her. The sleeping pills had been taken after. Someone else had been involved. As investigators retraced her final days, they uncovered something even stranger. Witnesses recalled seeing the woman accompanied by 2 men shortly before her death. They were described as foreign, well-dressed and quiet. One witness remembered the woman looking frightened. Another remembered an argument. Yet no one could identify the men. The woman's fingerprints were eventually matched, but not to any criminal record. They matched to nothing. She did not exist in any database. Interpol was contacted. No missing persons report matched her description. No embassy claimed her. No family came forward. She was buried in an unmarked grave. Years passed. Then decades. And then, in the 2010s, new technology reopened the case. Investigators analyzed the woman's handwriting, travel patterns, and chemical isotopes found in her teeth. They learned she likely grew up in Central Europe, possibly Germany or Austria. Her movements matched known Cold War espionage routes. Her disguises were professional. Her behavior consistent. The theory emerged that she may have been a spy. If true, it explained everything. The aliases, the cash, the coded notes, the men, the silence. It also explained why no one ever came looking for her. But even that theory raised new questions. If she was a spy, who killed her? Another spy? A handler? A rival agency? Or someone who discovered something they shouldn't have? To this day, the Isdal woman's real name is unknown. Her killer has never been identified. And no one knows why she died alone in Death Valley, surrounded by clues that seem carefully placed, yet incomplete. The most terrifying part of the case isn't a murder. It's the possibility that she lived an entire life under false names, and vanished without anyone ever realizing who she really was.